Ladies and gentlemen, Rise of Kingdoms just revealed brand new patch notes, so today we're going to take a look and see what is coming soon to the game, because this update is coming around in about 3 days, so this is right around the corner. But before we jump in, of course, what's going on, guys? Cheers. Yes, there's actually coffee in the mug. I know it doesn't look like I'm actually drinking anything, okay, but I promise. Anyway, as you guys know, I'm a sponsored partner created with Rise of Kingdoms, so if you want more breaking news for Rise of Kingdoms, definitely subscribe down below and drop a thumbs up while you're down there. All right, let's jump right in here. We have the spring showcase event series. Stroll across meadows steeped in floral scent and take in surrounding scenes of flourishing spring. Our spring showcase event series is about to begin, and we've prepared a ton of fun events for you to enjoy. I don't even know what accent that was, but there you go. Good morning. Happy spring, everybody. Come into the garden, collect trowels to renovate the courtyard, and uncover delightful springtime surprises. Yay. Barbarian incursions, fisherman's fortune, melon markets coming back. That's exciting. Protect the supplies, and Zenith of Power. Now, they actually did reveal the Zenith of Power city skin over on their Instagram and possibly their Twitter as well, but here you can see the Warrior's Hymn is giving you 20% infantry defense. I think this skin looks really cool. I think there's the music notes going around, which looks nice. We got the little like waves on the bottom here. It looks very almost holy in a way, so I think it looks pretty cool. Infantry defense is solid. Maybe I'll make a video about that, although I feel like it's kind of already been covered, but I did just want to show off that they did reveal the sort of exclusive theme effect and everything like that. But beyond the brand new city theme, we also have previous classic city themes making a return. You can now exchange for these themes in the classic section of the Zenith shop. Added faded Zenith badges. During the event period, you can convert Zenith badges into faded Zenith badges and use them to exchange for returning classic city themes. Any unused Zenith badges will be automatically converted into faded badges at the end of the event. During the event, the Finish Now feature will be quickly available for a limited time. You can tap on the Finish Now button to quickly use speed ups when training troops. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is a feature that they kind of teased or mentioned in the past. I didn't know that this would be exclusive to the Zenith of Power, though. I think that's kind of unfortunate. Basically what they're saying here is, like, if you're training troops, there's going to be a button where you just click it and it just finishes them automatically, rather than having to go in here and finally, okay, I'll do 3 hour speed ups and a 15 and then a 5 and then a 1, right? Like, that takes time if you want to train efficiently, and we already know that the game is built in a way to automatically use the correct speed ups, right? Because we have that for Crystal Tech. We have it so that way you can just skip it and it'll literally just use your research speed ups in the appropriate order. And so, you know, players have always kind of wanted that for training troops, and it looks like that is coming, but only during Zenith of Power. And I don't know why we don't just have that as a quality of life thing. I personally think it has something to do with the fact that we have these level 5-6 reserves. I think, you know, these kind of lose value if you have a Finish Now button, right? That's just my, I mean that's kind of a stretch, right? But like, that's just what I'm thinking. So you guys can let me know if I'm right about that in the comments, or if there's another reason why this isn't in the game always. You can give me some insight there. Okay, next up, Lost Kingdom and Season of Conquest changes. Optimized Song of Troy story for Season of Conquest. Okay, I just left the Song of Troy KvK, so this will be interesting to see. Added 1 additional chance to change your patron for a total of 2 per season. Okay, I didn't even end up changing mine all KvK, so I guess that's cool. More changes is probably better. After selecting a patron, you may still view blessing details of other patrons. Adjusted the passive effects of Poseidon's violent waves. Okay, this was one of the skills that I said was really impactful for whales, or really strong players who knew you know, the strategy and the perfect time to use this. When one of your field troops deals basic attacks, the target troop loses 3% march speed for the next 2 seconds. This can stack up to 10 times, and its duration resets whenever it gains another stack. This effect cannot be triggered by combo attacks. Now, for those of you that don't know, this skill used to say whenever one of your field troops enters combat, your troop and up to 5 nearby enemies lose 50% march speed and deal 30% more ranged counterattack damage for 10 seconds. So in my opinion, this is a massive debuff to that skill, because before it was instant and it was AoE, right? You instantly made everyone slow down, including yourself. Now it looks like you will not be slowed down, but you're only slowing down one target 3% at a time. So you still can stack up to 30%, so you can still kind of snare that one target really quickly, but it's not 5 targets that you're catching all off guard. So honestly, I do think that this makes this a little bit more balanced, because this did feel very unfair. I remember being in voice calls and everyone saying like, man, you know, this Poseidon skill, like if it catches you, and you just get wrecked, right? And it just doesn't feel good because you're in a position where you can't really do anything, right? And I get that that's the point, but like anytime that there's a skill in a game where the enemy just doesn't get to play, right? Like, oh, you're just you're just dead, right? Like you don't get to actually do anything. That just isn't great design unless it's done really, really well, or it's balanced really well. So I think this is a little bit better. We'll have to wait and see. And if you guys have any thoughts and opinions on that, you can let me know. Adjusted the passive effects of Apollo's Radiance. The maximum durability reduction applied to a target stronghold has been adjusted to 30%. Additionally, while Aglet's cannon, sorry if I mispronounced that, and Solar Chariot are active, ranged troops cannot attack buildings. Now, before, it used to be the case that you could reduce up to 50% of a stronghold's max durability. And it's also saying if you have these other skills that are being used at that moment, you can't use the Apollo's Radiance skill. Okay, so definitely another huge debuff here to the Apollo skill. Taking 30% durability away from a stronghold is still a lot, right? But it's definitely better than 50%. I think, again, these, if you go back and watch my KvK sort of recap, these two skills were the ones that were like the most complained about, especially the Apollo skill. So I'm really happy to see that they are adjusting this to make it a little bit more fair. Reduce the duration of the Olympian Arena's preparation phase to 1 hour and extended that of the duel phase to 23 hours. After a duel victory, the percentage of slightly wounded units that can be immediately healed is reduced from 100% to 85%. So I actually like this. I think the Olympian Arena was a really cool idea. I think it's a nice way to sort of just basically auto battle, right? I mean, you're just auto battling against the enemy, but it actually matters because it's actually dealing wounded to the enemy. So if you want to, you can really stack your armies in there, but it also might really fill your hospital quickly. So I like this a lot. I think this is cool. This is a nice way for, you know, people to contribute on days where, you know, maybe you can't play that day, but oh, the arena's going on, so like I can at least deal some damage to the enemy. I like this a lot. Increase the number of times the Olympia Arena is available during the stories by 1. Again, that's good. I like the arena, so that's very nice. Added the Crusader achievement, chosen vessel, eliminate 300,000 units in battle within the Olympia Arena to unlock it. That's really cool. Rewarding players for actually doing the arena. I like that a lot. Okay, so all of the changes that they made to the Song of Troy are like everything that I would have wanted. Like literally everything, every bullet point here is exactly what I would have wanted to see. It gives you more of what I liked about it, and it nerfs some of the skills that a lot of people didn't like about it. So this is really good. I love this a lot. This is awesome that they did this to the Song of Troy. Hopefully this will make people enjoy that KvK even more, because I think as a sort of key story, right, like this is what brought us Achilles and Hector into the game. Like this is supposed to be a popular KvK story. I think it should be you know, a fan favorite, right? And so I like that they made these changes. Warriors Unbound is now available for mini season mode. Lower the requirements to unlock certain Chronicles chapters and Crusader achievements, and reduce the number of autarchs. Only eligible kingdoms may enter. Actual availability is subject to in-game conditions. Okay, that's pretty cool. More people can experience this even if you're in smaller kingdoms, so we like that. Acclaim Shop Pioneer available for Season of Conquest Story Heroic Anthem. You can use Acclaim coins in the Acclaim Shop to exchange for recovery potions. Recovery potions instantly heal sev wounds in hospitals and can be stored until the end of the season. Okay, so you can't carry this over to the next KvK. Adjusted Acclaim gains for killing / sev wounds level 1 units in Lost Kingdom to improve efficiency balance. Severely wounding 100,000 level 1 units grants 1 acclaim. Wow. Killing 100,000 level 1 units gains 2 acclaim. That's so funny. 10,000 severely wounded level 1 units grants 1 acclaim. Okay, yeah, so basically they're saying like stop tier 1 trading, right? Like tier 1 trading is for losers. Don't do it. This is stupid. The fact that they even give you acclaim at all is embarrassing, so that's cool. I don't know what it actually was before, but this, yeah, that makes sense. Control and quality of life optimizations for combat. Optimized queue management panel, added queue settings. Governors can now hide or unhide unlocked queues. Okay, that's pretty cool. Added 4 new queues: material production, armament acquisition, crystal tech research, and crystal mine production. Adjusted the display of ordered queues. Okay, so this is in the management thing off on the left here. They're talking about this, right? This is the management panel. So they've added to that to include other things that are relevant here. So you can just claim your crystal mine production here, which I think is really cool. Adjusted certain talent effects and armament inscriptions to improve balance. Oh, okay. So any reduction to skill damage taken effect is now reduction to skill combo attack smite damage taken. As part of this change, certain combo attack and smite damage talents have been enhanced. Ooh, okay, that's really big. Wait a minute, that's a small bullet point for a big change. Okay, any reduction, so we're talking about talents or armaments. Makes sense because these talents were built for a game that didn't have combo or smite damage, right? So they have to sort of go back and tweak them to make them more balanced for today's meta. So it makes a lot of sense that they would do this. The other part though, as part of this change, certain combo attacks and smite damage talents have been enhanced. While you're at it, maybe consider giving Liu Che the smite talent tree. This adjustment applies only to season 2 and beyond. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Adjusted talents, only talents at their highest level are listed. Okay, so they literally just tell us. Okay, so emergency protection in the support tree. Whenever this commander's troop takes skill, combo, or smite damage of any type, there's a 50% chance to take 15% less skill, combo, smite damage of any type for 3 seconds. Okay, what's emergency protection right now? Let me just refresh my mind. Whenever you take skill damage, it has a 50% chance to reduce skill damage by 15% for 3 seconds. Okay, so it's literally the exact same thing. It just extends to the other types of damage. So this actually is a buff to the support tree. There's no change there. Loose formation, this commander's troop takes 9% less skill, combo, or smite damage of all types. Before it was 9% less skill damage, now it's 9% less combo and smite damage as well. So again, a pure buff here, just no downside. It's just better now. I feel like the support tree was already pretty good, and now it's even better. Now for the skill tree, we have heraldic shield. This commander's troop takes 6% less skill, combo, and smite damage of all types. Naked rage, you deal 6% more skill damage of all types, but take 6% more skill damage, combo damage, or smite damage of all types. Ooh, that isn't a bad change right there. Okay, let's take a look at the skill tree really quick here. So it was a flat buff to heraldic shield, right? Like this is just objectively better now, but naked rage kind of got a debuff, right? Because before it was deal 6% more skill damage, but take 6% more skill damage. Now you take 6% more skill, combo, and smite damage, right? So definitely a bigger penalty for using naked rage, which by the way is fair because we have things like Pack-a-Punch where you only boost smite damage, but you take more normal damage, which includes smite and combo, right? So it actually brings naked rage more in line with other newer talents like Pack-a-Punch. So I think that is a very fair change, even though it is a little bit of a nerf there for the skill tree. Okay, now in the attack tree, martial mastery, this commander's troop deals 6% more normal damage, but also deals 6% less skill, combo, and smite damage. Ooh, okay, so that is a little bit of a debuff there for the attack tree. Defense tree, loose formation, this commander's troop takes 9% less skill, combo, and smite damage. Okay, that is a pure buff. Mobility tree, whenever this commander's troop takes skill, combo, smite damage, it gains 50% march speed. Okay, that's a buff. This commander's troop takes 9% less skill, combo, attack, smite damage of all types. Okay, that is a buff. Combo tree, Colossus, this commander's troop deals 6% more combo attack damage of all types. What was it before? This commander's troop deals 3% more combo. Okay, so they doubled the effectiveness of Colossus. Okay, so that is a flat out buff for Colossus. Smite tree, enhanced smite, this commander's troop deals 6% more smite damage. I pretty much can guarantee that that's a buff as well. Thick skin, this commander's troop takes 6% less skill and combo damage. Okay, pretty cool stuff. This commander's troop takes 6% less skill, combo, and smite damage of all types. Pretty cool. Adjusted armament inscriptions, guarded, whenever the wheelless troop takes skill or combo or smite damage of any type, it has a 10% chance to reduce the damage by 20%. Embattled, whenever you take skill, combo, smite, you have a 10% chance to gain rage. Okay, so they've just kind of expanded these to, you know, not be just skill damage, but also include combo and smite damage. Okay, to improve applicability, the effects of certain stratagems in the Season of Conquest Story Storm of Stratagems have been adjusted. These effects include Fierce Assault, Unconquered, and Annihilation. That makes sense as well. Okay, like we just said. Optimized auto peacekeeping, troops engaged in auto peacekeeping will now avoid barbarian troops that are already being engaged by another governor. This is huge. This is awesome. We love this because in the past, people who were chaining barbarians would have it ruined by an auto peacekeeping march, right? And so this is fantastic for them. Love to see that. And also, if you're auto peacekeeping, like, yes, this is going to make it take longer because it's going to avoid the nearest barb if someone is hitting it, but like you're AFK anyway, right? So like that shouldn't matter very much. Optimized strategic control view, the hold and drag and quick command controls will no longer interact with runes. That is fantastic, especially because we now have the crystal tech that allows you to summon a rune, right? So when you're in King's Land and there's all these runes on the ground, like you're constantly hitting runes and it's annoying. Okay, so that's fantastic. Optimized rest feature, when you have accumulated 8 hours of war frenzy within the past 24 hours, a new display tab will become available, allowing you to view past periods of war frenzy and better plan subsequent battles. This is really good stuff. Okay, we've talked about this on the channel. They are still pioneer testing the rest feature, and one of the biggest complaints is that people feel like they're in the dark, right? Like they don't know what fights are counting or how close they are to reaching their war frenzy limit. So now we will see that when you've accumulated 8 hours of war frenzy, frenzy, a new display tab shows up, so you'll actually be able to track that, which is nice. Added a numeric keypad in fields requiring numeric input. You can now use the in-game keypad. Okay, interesting. I guess that is nice for mobile, right? I guess for me on a keyboard doesn't matter. Optimized Champions of Olympia. In ranked mode, you'll be evaluated on your match performance with a chance of earning stars or not losing stars after a match. Okay, so it's a bit more fair to you. In team ranked mode, if severe violations affecting match outcomes are detected, affected governors will receive compensation. That's awesome. Okay, so people rage quitting don't ruin everyone else's rank. Optimized alliance bounties. Rewards obtained from completing alliance bounties will now have a weekly limit. The maximum amount of food, wood, stone, and gold that can be obtained each week is 100 million each, and the maximum for flux coins is 200. Okay, I guess there was no cap before. I don't even know that, but okay, fair enough. Added a confirmation prompt and secondary password verification when donating flux coins to the alliance armory. Cool. Optimized armament loadout interaction. Okay, not sure what they changed there, but great. Added the new achievement category Guardian. The new achievement Talent Abound has been added under the Child of Fate category. Okay, so new achievements, very cool. Enrich the performance of barbarians on the map by introducing new barbarian appearances and skills. Ooh, okay, so maybe barbarians are stronger now. Interesting. Remastered troop performance now has a new death animation for fallen troops. That's really cool. I like that a lot. So when you actually die in the battlefield, your army will die. I like that. That's funny. Optimize the alliance building interface. Battle reports for alliance buildings can now be directly viewed. Ooh, very cool stuff there. Optimize skill descriptions for holy sites and past guardians. Hammurabi's code added descriptions regarding control immunity. Actual effects remain unchanged. Fear of the ancients added descriptions regarding additional damage. Actual effects remain unchanged. So it's just more clear as to how the holy site and past guardians work. Added alliance rankings for barbarian forts destroyed in armory resource contributions. We really like to see that. So alliances can keep track of how many forts people are doing. People like me are going to get reprimanded for this, although lately I've been good with my forts, I think. So we'll have to wait to see. This will hold people accountable, basically. Under the Arc of Osiris tab in profile, added displays for the number of Grand Prix championships won and the number of Grand Prix main event appearances made. Awesome. Optimized Bastion quest interaction. Quests and rewards can now be claimed directly from the Bastion quest interface. Okay, great. Optimized inventory item display. Museum relics are no longer visible in the inventory. That didn't make sense that they were there anyway. You can now apply city themes, name plaques, and other cosmetics directly from the inventory. That's pretty cool as well. All right, so all in all, I think this is a big update for certain things, right? Like KvK, Zenith of Power, a lot of quality of life enhancements, and a lot of updates to talents and armaments, right? So this is kind of like a lot of things in the background are changing a little bit, and I think that this is them sort of setting up for future releases. So what I mean by that is, like, they're probably thinking about future commanders and future formations that are coming into the game, right? And they're thinking like, okay, well, as we add more commanders and as we add more formations, more armaments, things like that, we kind of have to actually think about combo and skill damage now when it comes to everything in the game. And so it's fair to bring everything up to the same level, right? The skill talent tree, the support talent tree, the attack talent tree, the defense talent tree, bring all that up to the same level with regards to combo and smite damage. And then moving forward, now it's a fair playing field and we can continue, you know, with maybe a little bit of power creep with the commanders, or, you know, it gives more flexibility, right? Because if you guys watched my video where I talked about the next archer commanders, right? The upcoming archer commanders for, I suspect, will come in April, who knows, right? But you know, when you're speculating like, okay, is it going to have the support tree or the defense tree? You know, a lot of that comes down to, are those the best of the best or not? And you know, this just makes those talent trees a bit more fair, a bit more in line with the 2026 meta, with what people are actually doing. The entire game isn't skill damage anymore, so it doesn't make sense that the attack tree, defense tree, and support trees and skill trees, well, I guess not the skill tree, but the attack, support, and defense trees are all focused on, you know, dealing or mitigating skill damage exclusively. That doesn't make sense anymore. So in order to have more balanced future commanders with the talent trees that are still in the game, they had to fix the talent trees, right? And so that makes a lot of sense. Again, same thing with the armaments. If they're going to add new formations and stuff, it's got to all be on the same level playing field. So all in all, this is an update that I think is actually quite big, but it sort of is more of a setting the stage for future updates that are actually going to bring even more big content. So this is really cool. I like everything in here. Honestly, there's nothing in this update where I'm like, oh, that's really bad, right? This is, all of this feels like objectively good stuff to me, especially the changes to Song of Troy. So I'm really happy about this. You guys can let me know what you think about this update in the comment section below. I think this is a sleeper update where it doesn't look like much on the surface, but it actually is a big deal for the future meta. So I'm really happy to see a lot of these changes. You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section below. And while you're down there, consider dropping a thumbs up on the video. It really does help out the channel a ton. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell to be notified the next time I upload breaking news for Rise of Kingdoms. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Omniarch. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Peace.